Hello and welcome to lesson 5.1. Today we are going to be writing and evaluating algebraic expressions. Please take a moment and try the solve and discuss and see what you can come up with. Did you come up with something like this? These are two student example works. All right, so before we get started, we just need to refresh our memory about a couple things. Okay, when we are talking algebraic expressions, we have something such as this. And your 3, or any number attached to a variable, is going to be called a coefficient. Your letter is going to be your variable, which a variable is a letter that represents a number. And any number that stands alone is going to be a constant. Okay, it's important to remember these vocabulary terms. So let's look at example number 1. Writing expressions that represent situations. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to write an algebraic expression that represents this word problem or situation. So an automatic dog feeder dispenses 2/5 cup of dog food each day. What expression can the dog owner use to determine the amount of food left in the feeder after D days? So I want you to read it once, then I want you to read it a second time and highlight, circle, or underline the key important parts. So, an automatic dog feeder dispenses 2/5 a cup of dog food each day. What expression can the dog owner use to determine the amount of food left in the feeder after D days? So now we need to take this information and we need to put it into an algebraic expression, okay? Remember, algebraic expressions do not have an equal sign. That's the only difference from an equation, is an expression does not have an equal sign. Okay, so when we're looking at this, what are we talking about? All right, well, we know that there are 20 cups of food in this container right here, okay? So we know we have 20 cups of food. And we know that the dispenser dispenses 2/5 a cup each day. Okay, so we have 2/5 a cup each day, and we know that day is going to be represented by D. So now we have successfully written our algebraic expression. In this particular case, it's not asking us to solve for D, we are just writing the expression. Now here in your book, it shows 2 other examples. You can do this using a bar diagram, okay, where you're showing the remaining amount and how much cups each day and how many total cups. And they take the bar diagram to write the actual expression. Or you can do it by highlighting the words just as I do, so I don't miss anything, to write it into an expression. All right, so let's try one of these on our own. So I'm going to give you a moment to try this one on your own. Pause the video after I read it. Masumi started with $217 in her bank account. She deposits $25.50 each week and never withdraws any money. What expression can Mizumi use to determine her account balance after W weeks? Try and write an expression for this. Pause the video. All right, so, well, when you look at this, again, you're going to go ahead and you're going to highlight, read it a second time and highlight the important parts. You know that she Gotta get the right thing, sorry. She starts with $217 in her bank account, and she deposits, that means she adds to it $25.50 each week. What expression can we determine her account balance after W weeks? All right, so when we look at this, again, we have $217 that she puts into her account at the bank. Then we know she deposits, so she adds to her original account $25.50 each week. But we don't know how many weeks we're talking about, so we're just going to put W. If we were to solve this for whatever amount of weeks we want to solve for, we would know what her total savings is. But in this case, we're not solving, we are just writing the algebraic expression. All right, example number 2. Now we're going to take the algebraic expressions that we write and we're going to evaluate them. That means we are going to solve for the variable, or we are going to plug in to solve. So example number 2 says the expression 9.99D plus 12.99C can be used to find the total cost of D pounds of almonds and C pounds of cashews. How much does it cost to buy 1.5 pounds of almonds and 2.5 pounds of cashews? Evaluate the expression with the given values. So we are going to substitute. Okay, remember, substitute means to put something in place of something else. All right, so we know that almonds is going to stand for D, and cashews we are going to call C. All right, so they have given us the algebraic expression in the problem. Right here is our expression. Right here is our expression. And we are going to, like I said, substitute. We are going to substitute to evaluate. So they tell us up here, they want to know how much does it cost to buy 1.5 pounds of almonds and 2.5 pounds of cashews. So we are going to substitute those numbers in the expression just as they did in this step to solve. Remember, then you have to follow order of operations. Okay, and what are our order of operations? That's right. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Remember, multiplication and division goes left to right, whichever comes first. Addition and subtraction goes left to right, whichever comes first. So, we're first going to multiply, and we're going to take 9.99 times 1.5, which gives us 14.985. Then we're going to multiply in our calculator 12.99 times 2.5. You know that a half could be 0.5, and you come up with 32.475. And to find the total cost of both of these, you're going to add those two numbers together, and that's what you're going to get. 47.46 is the total cost to buy those almonds and cashews. So let's try the next one on your own. The cost to rent a scooter is $15.50 per hour, and the cost to rent a watercraft is $22.80 per hour. Use the expression 15.5S plus 22.8W to determine how much it would cost to rent the scooter for 3.5 hours and the watercraft for 1 hour and 34. So, I highlighted all the important parts. I rewrote the expression. Then I changed my fractions into decimals. Plug them in where they belong, and now I'm going to multiply. All right, so then we come up with 54.25 plus 39.9 or 90. We add those two together and we come up with 94.15. So we were paying $94.15 to rent the scooter for 3.5 hours and the watercraft for an hour and 3/4. Example number 3 simply wants you to write and evaluate the expression. So now you're going to read the word phrase, write the expression, and then evaluate it. So Malik and 2 friends earn $M in 1 week doing odd jobs. They split the earnings so that each friend gets 1/3 of the total earnings. Malik uses $32.50 of his earnings on lunch each week. Last week, the 3 friends earned $963. How much money did Malik have after paying for lunch? So in this particular problem, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to figure out what we're talking about. So we have Malik and 2 friends. That's 3 friends total. Earn $M each week. They are going to split the earnings, so each friend gets 1/3. But Malik uses $32.50 each week on his lunch. So they earn $963. So M is going to represent the amount of money that they make. All right. So in this expression, they have 1/3 times M because they're going to multiply that and then subtract 32.5. So whenever you're multiplying by a fraction, we're really going to end up dividing. All right. So you can change 1/3 into a decimal in your calculator and make sure you're following. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally when you're evaluating these. So before you subtract, you have to do your multiplication. So in your calculator, 1/3 times 963 minus 32.5. Okay? So Malik would have $288.50 left after paying his lunch. Try the next one on your own. Amelia earns $8.74 per hour plus a gas allowance of $3.50 per day at our job. How much does Amelia's job pay in a day when she works 5.5 hours? Write an expression and evaluate for 5.5 hours. All right, so let's write our algebraic expression. Is this what you came up with? I would read this and I would figure out that I know she's earning $8.74 per hour, plus she's getting a gas credit of $3.50 per day. Then they want us to solve for 5.5 hours. So I know that she's earning $8.74 per hour. So we'll call hours H. Plus, she gets a gas credit of $3.50 per day. Now, the reason your $3.50 is not multiplied by H is because your $3.50 is per day. This is per hour. All right, so it doesn't matter how many hours she works, she still only gets $3.50 for gas per day. So then I'm going to plug in and solve. So I'm going to take 874 times 5.5 plus 3.5. So when you multiply that, you get 4807 plus 350. And when you add that together, you should come up with $51.57 is what she makes after 5.5 hours. That concludes our lesson for the day. Be sure you're reading carefully to write and solve or evaluate your algebraic expressions.